Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Aquarius. If Aquarius is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so our card tonight is the Lust or Strength card. Okay, let's see what these tea leaves have to say. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. And it is free to subscribe. So we have a beautiful picture of a tree. We can see kind of nice and round. It looks like maybe an apple tree there. And it's interesting because at the top it looks like we have another little tree. It's a tree within a tree. And we have, it looks like a person here kind of coming to maybe seek shade. Oh, it's two people. Oh, and they're kind of hand in hand. Or maybe, interesting, maybe it's two older people and a child and another child. They always look different from, you just turn it here, turn it there. They look a little bit different. So we kind of have this feeling of maybe the fullness of family, or the fullness of a life that is realized, that is, it feels like quite a holistic existence. Now, we don't have to have children for that. We don't have to have a partner for that. But within our interior landscape, we do. We don't have to have it, but we do have it. Okay. And it is different aspects of self. Jung called our beloved, or our other half, so to speak, our animus or anima. Okay, and so this is kind of the balancing. If you think of the sun marrying the moon, right? The two opposites in a union, and it begets the sun or the star, right? And so it is. And I think that you have really done some deep work. And so you are in a place where I feel like there is a great sense of unification of these archetypes within your being. And this is often very apparent in people who have begun the work of individuation. And that is where you can think of the beginning of your life as kind of, we're living and we're being conditioned and we're having experiences and we're very much out there in the world, what we perceive to be outside of ourselves. We are learning to interact with other people. We are having our ordeals. We're going about the different programming things that happen, as a child, and then we live them out. And then we get to a certain point in our life, and it can be like middle age or older, and it maybe even is a little younger for some. But we get to a point where we begin to go inward, right? We begin to, it becomes very apparent that the outside world is not all that there is, okay? We begin to experience things in a way that maybe is a little more esoteric. And how does this feel? Let me think. How do we explain this? This is that if you could imagine, you know, we talk about the tarot on here quite a bit, and tea leaf reading is definitely tarot adjacent. But the archetypes within the major arcana, if you could think of these as being different aspects of your consciousness, right? And we inhabit all of them, okay? Even if we don't like to think of ourselves as some of the things that are a little more challenging, or we're just, you know, things that we kind of reject for one reason or another. But when you get into this phase of individuation, you begin to really look at yourself with clarity. And there is that aspect of shadow work where you begin to see the things that maybe you once found quite distasteful about yourself, or you were ashamed, there's guilt, and you go into those places and you begin to know them. And that's not to say that we activate and we live in that, you know, those things that can be destructive or dysfunctional or toxic or whatever, but we see them. We see them for what they are. And we find ways to carry that with us, because it has to be integrated into self, right? And but we have to find a way to make it work that is not going to be disruptive to our lives or to other people's lives. Okay, so when I see this beautiful image, it reminds me of the chemical marriage. It reminds me of the union of the sun and the moon. And so the child of the star is born. Okay, and there is a deepening intuition. There is a psychic ability that is so profound here. I don't know what exactly, you know, if you are some kind of clairvoyant. I've read that there are many different kinds. I don't know all of them off the top of my head, but there are, and different ways of experiencing through sense and so on. Now you could also be a healer, or a seer, or a sage, or whatever it is. There's, you know, many ways for this to be expressed, and often, yeah, we contain all of them or some of them, and at different levels of proficiency. And I see that this has really come to be a focus of your life. I think that you are really taking your time to let these abilities that you have kind of manifest in your daily life, where I think that, you know, for maybe a great deal of your time on earth, you've known that you are a little different. You know that you experience things differently. You have abilities that are maybe different than most people's. And so I think that I don't think that you're embarrassed about it or anything like that, but I think that you kind of just put it in your pocket, you know, and you take it out when you want to spend time with it. Okay. And sometimes it kind of, creeps over, or you start to, you know, have experiences, in places where it's like, okay, this is a little much. I don't really think that I should share this with other people. You know, and I'm thinking of, you know, I've had experiences in workplaces, right? And it's like, yeah, people might think it's like kind of a novelty or whatever, but I always was very self-conscious about kind of really fully leaning into it and talking openly about the things that, like, if I would see something weird, or if and I waited tables. Okay, so I worked in restaurants, and then a lot of people come through restaurants, so I would get just strong energies from people. Sometimes I would come in contact with them, I would have full on like visions of things related to them, or energies they're putting off, or things that were attached to them that I could perceive. And it's like, I didn't really necessarily want to talk about this with other people I worked with, but then, and this is what I think it feels like to me, you were somewhat similar, not dissimilar from this. But now I think that you've gotten into this part of your life where you're kind of living in your truth, right? You just are who you are. If people think it's weird or they don't understand, okay. I do think that in these last years, and a lot of it I think has to do with, it's just so popular online, and you see videos of all kinds of astrology and zodiac and I don't know, psychic stuff and tarot and all the other. It's really popular, which is kind of cool. I think it's pretty cool. And I think people are more willing to listen to. The cat is over here cleaning herself. I'm sorry. Was this the perfect time to clean yourself? Yeah, she's comfortable. She wants me to hold her while she gets herself clean. Okay, that's enough now. So I think that, I think it's more accepted. People are more willing to hear it. I think a lot more people, and I don't know if it's because I am more outwardly, vocal about, what I do for work, or, and now, I do readings. I read for people, and, people are a lot more, I feel like they're just really like accepting and interested, right? Where I always thought, oh, this would be, people might think I'm strange or, whatever. And for you, I think it's kind of the same. You just kind of say what it is. I do this, I'm a energy healer, or I'm a, I help with spiritual journeys, or, whatever it is. You're a facilitator of some kind, a healer of some kind. Maybe you're somebody who is, studying to be one of these things, or you are involved in some magical system, or whatever it is. And I think that people have become really receptive to it because you say it with confidence. You say it with, not even just say it, you live it, okay? It is who you are, okay? You fully embody this life. And it doesn't leave room for somebody to think twice about it, really. Okay, that makes sense. Also, you just have that energy, right? You have that kind of aura, I think, that puts people at ease about things. And I think that you're somebody who just you're an interesting person. So it's like, oh yeah, they would be into something kind of cool like that. So I think that there's just this it's just a beautiful scene of harmony, of peace, of coming into a place of feeling so much yourself and having that spiritual family that thrives within self. Now we have the beautiful tree, right? And as I said, it kind of reminds me of an apple tree. So it is kind of the tree of knowledge, the tree of life and death, and so on. And it is a home in a way. It is a place that we return to, or at least we try. And I think that, in your own way, I'm seeing the A up there. I keep thinking, it's just like, I imagine you being like an intentional architect of your life, coming into this powerful place where you are manifesting, you are making moves in your life that You know, at other times, maybe it's like things just, they were failing, they were falling apart. You were doing things, it was working out maybe, and then you felt like, this is not for me. I don't know how this turned out this way. It doesn't feel right. I haven't found the right thing. Well, now I think you're in this flow of energy where it's like, all of the things that you're doing, it's coming from such a deep heart space that it just feels like you're moving mountains, or, you know, you're moving the landscape of everything around. You're building the kingdom, the world that you have always envisioned for yourself. Now, does it come overnight? No. But that's part of it, is that you have the resolve and you're willing to put in the work, you know, because it doesn't happen if you can't kind of devote yourself to this. And I feel so confident here that this next year, it just is going to be and continue to be such a glorious time. And in this moment, it might not feel like it, right? You're watching this and maybe you are led here because you've had, you know, some hardships. You're looking for some kind of sign or confirmation that things are going to change. And I really do. I do believe that they are. And I think that they will. And they have already. I think it's just, you know, what it comes down to is, you want to come over here? You little silly. Come on. Let me hold you. And what it comes down to, and it sounds like I feel... I'm like stopping myself from kind of saying it, but it really does. It comes down to you really believing in yourself. And I know it's like, okay, that's not what fixes. That doesn't pay the bills. It does not fix things. You don't just believe in yourself and everything gets better. But it's the beginning of that, right? When we move in knowing, when we move in confidence, the universe follows. Or at least in our little micro universe, the universe follows. And I think it's like whatever has happened, whatever has been happening, it feels like I said, it's just like one thing after you try something, it doesn't work. You try something else, it kind of works, but it doesn't feel right. Or you're starting to make some, you're gaining some momentum, right? Gaining it, just getting going, and then something happens, and it's like, oh, you know, another thing to knock me down, and but beneath it all, you have the ability, and you know the way. I mean, I know that you know the way. And I think that really I'm trying to think. And I feel like this bit feels a little hard. I feel like it relates to this feeling of not only just like kind of abandonment, but I feel like being almost kind of forsaken by somebody who who was supposed to take care of you, who was supposed to love you and kind of be your champion, and them not knowing how to be a parent or a caregiver or a partner, and a devastation there. I mean, it just like a cavernous wound to the heart. And even though you have spent a lot of time healing and moving on and living your life, and at times living it really well, there's this anxiety there, and it's underlying. And I think it really does, it makes it hard for you to trust yourself. It makes it hard for you to know your self-worth, which is infinite. You are a divine being. You are a miracle. Do you know how many things have to align for you to be here? For you to exist in the way that you do? It's absolutely unfathomable how much had to come together. And so you are the ultimate miracle. In every moment that you are breathing, right? Because it continues on to keep yourself and your systems going, and the environment to be, conducive with life and sustaining life and all of that. It is just absolutely so special. And that should be enough in itself. But is it? No, we take it for granted. We all do. Every one of us. And so, I know that these kinds of wounds, I don't know how to fix them. I don't know if you can. But I do know that even when we have disbelief in ourselves, where we can, even we say, I trust myself, I know I'm good at this, I make good decisions, I know what I'm doing, and yet there's still that thing, that thread, that kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of sewn in there. Well, when we feel it limiting us, stopping us from really fully going into that beautiful place here, beginning our individuation, unifying as a whole being, that's when we kind of have to stop and think, today I'm going to be really compassionate with myself. I'm going to take care of myself as I would take care of my child. I am going to speak to myself with love. I'm going to treat myself. I'm going to exist in love. I'm going to do things that are expressions of love and care. And it might sound silly, but this is how we combat that feeling. And it might feel like, I don't deserve this today. I'm too busy for this right now. I have other things to worry about. I'll get over it. No, we take care of it. It's like your child when they're young. Everything is so immediate for them. They get hurt. It's a big ordeal. They scrape their knee, it's crying, and they need mommy, they need daddy, they need grandma, they need whoever. They want to be held and soothed and loved and helped with the process of cleaning up and being reassured. And so we must for ourselves, even when it feels like this is This is ridiculous. But that's where that strength comes in. It is strong to show up for yourself. Nobody will ever show up for us like we show up for ourselves. Okay? So, yeah. Yes. Now let's see, what do we have over here? I have a V and an E. V-E. V is in Victor, V is in Vicky. And we have an E. If that means anything to you. And then we have the word wind. Doesn't look exactly like it, but to me, it comes right through. W-I-N-D. So wind. I think unwind. Unwind. So, I'm looking at this and it feels like we have kind of almost an energy of, it's the self-care, but I think also doing something that you find soothing, not in the physical, okay? And I was thinking like maybe going for a walk. I can imagine you in some kind of garden place or a park. But something that makes you feel grounded, centered, with yourself. With yourself. Yeah, that seems right. Okay, let's see. We have the divine doors. Let's see if they'll come in focus here. I have to tell you, this is my last reading. I'm excited. It feels like I haven't done an Aquarius reading in a minute, but it's just there's so many signs and bonus readings and stuff. But yes, we're on Aquarius, and I love doing Aquarius readings. Some of my favorite people are Aquariuses. So, I'm excited, but I'm also I'm at the end of my day, and we're packing the house, so it's like a lot going on. Let's see. So I just flipped through them. I stop where it feels right. This is a beautiful door. Very proper. It says, inner power. By your own command, you brought yourself here. At this moment in your life, you have nothing to fear. There we go. You did this. You absolutely have that power that sometimes it feels like maybe I don't. Maybe, I don't know. You know, it's that thing, that little voice down there somewhere, that little itch. And, if anything is the devil, it maybe is that just self-consciousness and, not believing in self. So, yes, Aquarius, I'm going to go ahead and tell you off the bat, I love you. And I thank you for spending this time with me. I wish I was a little more lively. I'm so sorry. I also quit coffee recently, and I'm down to very little caffeine. So, and my days are so long. I get up at like 6, 7 in the morning, and then I go to bed at like 1 in the morning. And if you do the math, you see where we're at. And it's got to get better. I got to get on a better schedule. So anyways, yeah, but I do like doing readings late at night because I feel like I'm in a place where, I don't know, I feel more receptive to spirit, definitely. It's hard doing them during the day sometimes because there's so much stimuli, you know. But anyways, I love you. I thank you. If you haven't subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. It's free to subscribe. If you would be kind enough to like the video, it helps the channel. And if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I read them all, and I love reading them, and I love hearing from you. And I love you. All right. With that, I'll say good night. I'm going to bed. And we'll talk in just a few days. Bye-bye.